in the late 1800s. There was a woman who was on the brink of hysteria because she was clutching her newborn baby. And she's been down this road before because she's had other children who unfortunately did not make it. And she saw the signs when this one was born, and she was hoping it would be different. But the signs that were on the baby were not very promising. The baby had an extremely high fever. Not showing many signs of life, of vibrance or anything like that. So the day before, when she saw these signs that worried her very much, she sent a telegram that the doctor should come, make a house call, because it was too dangerous for her and the baby to venture out in order to get medical help. So there she is in the middle of the Austrian-Hungary, right, winter. It's a terrible, terrible weather outside. There's a blizzard storming outside. She's clutching this baby for dear life, saying, "This baby, I can't let go. Not another one, not this one." And her mind drifts off, thinking about the last time she was in the park, and how much she wanted a child of her own. And one after the other, they just didn't make it. And here she is clutching her baby, and her mind drifts off into a scene where she's thinking in the park of the children playing in the playground and having a good time, like every other child. And she's thinking her children, for some reason, don't make it. Why is this one going to be any different? And she doesn't know what she could do. She's holding on to the baby with dear life, and all of a sudden she hears a noise outside. She rushes to the window, hoping that it would be the doctor. But it was just the wind blowing that rustled a branch in the wind and made a noise. So her heart fell once again, realizing that there's not going to be any chance. There might not be a chance. And as she tries to apply a cool washcloth to the baby's forehead in order to subdue the fever, it was out of control. And the baby is going in and out of consciousness, and she knows she's been down this road before, she knows what's happening, and she can't take it anymore. She says, "How much could a woman take to lose not one, but not two, but a third child? It's totally unbearable. This one has to live." That's what she said. As soon as she said that, all of a sudden she heard another noise outside. She goes running to the door, flings open the door, and she sees in the distance there's a wagon approaching. And she's hoping so much that this is the doctor. And she goes running out into the snow, and she sees that, yes, indeed, it is the doctor. And you can imagine what she was feeling at that time. Finally, the doctor's going to come. Finally, the doctor will be able to give the child, her little baby, the medicine that it needs to live. That this baby should have a chance, because this baby has to live. So she goes running out into the snow and welcomes in the doctor quickly. She's, "Doctor, doctor, please, you have to come in. Quickly, quickly, my baby, he doesn't have much longer." So the doctor quickly grabs his bag and goes running inside, stomping through the snow. And he gets inside. He quickly assesses the situation. He realizes that it's a very, very, very serious situation. But he's seen the situation before, and he had exactly the medicine that was needed. He opens up his doctor bag, pulls out an elixir, a medicine, and loads it into a syringe and puts it into the baby's mouth. And almost immediately, after the baby is gasping for its last breaths of life, the baby starts to feel color coming into the baby's cheeks. And you can imagine the mother as she's watching. Is my baby going to make it? Is my baby not going to make it? This one has to live. And she sees the color being restored to the baby's face. The doctor also applying cold compresses to the baby in order to reduce the fever. And slowly but surely, the baby is coming back to life. She can't believe it. She cannot believe that this baby was saved. Finally, she felt that she was a little bit out of danger. The doctor checks the different vital signs of the baby, and he makes her assured that this baby's going to be okay as well. This little boy is going to live. So the doctor, after staying there for a couple more minutes to make sure that the situation was stable, he packs up his bag and he turns to the door and he starts walking out. And the mother was still a little bit nervous. She was not only a little bit nervous, but a lot of bit nervous. What happens if the doctor leaves? What happens if the fever will shoot up again? What happens if my baby won't live? Because this one has to live. So all of a sudden, the doctor, feeling the mother's tense, feeling her tension, he turns around and he says words that she'll never forget. Don't worry, Mrs. Hitler. Little Adolf will be okay.
What?
Emotions could be very, very confusing.
What?
As I just proved to you in that little story, that I had you feeling terrible for this little baby that this mother was clutching in her arms.
True story?
True story. It's a true story. This one has to live.
How late in the 1800s is it?
This one has to live. Emotions could be very, very confusing. Very confusing. The world outside of us knows that. And they try constantly to bombard us with different things that will try to make our emotions go flying. Eat this, do this, buy this, take this, right? We all try to think that we know what's going on. We try to think that, listen, maybe I should try this, maybe I should do that. And all along we're sent spinning around in this whirlwind of emotion that, today's great, but today's a bug out. The morning was great, the afternoon is not so good, right? Today I feel great, let's do it, right? The next day, bummer, I'm dead, I'm beat, back into bed. How do we know what to do? You know who's responsible for that? It's a nation, one little nation, not so little, but they make a big stink in this world. That is a nation called Amalek. And what they're responsible for is instilling safek, or doubt, into every single one of us. That's their job. Our job is to make sure that we take the Torah, we take the guiding light, and to obliterate any safek, any doubt that we do have. Amalek, by the way, as many of you might know, is the same gematria as the word safek, doubt. That's their job. That's their domain. And you know where they try to get us the best is in a place called the Beit Midrash, because they know the moment we enter the Beit Midrash, they're powerless against. They're totally powerless against our Torah. And they know that. So they try to do every little thing possible in order to confuse us, in order to make us gassed and sketched and all the heck and all that stuff, right? They try to get us down, they try to beat us up, they try to make sure that even when we enter the Beit Midrash, you know what? Can't do this today. I'm not feeling it. I'm not doing it, right? Safek, safek. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe this Gemara is not for me. Maybe Gemara in general is not for me. Maybe Yeshiva is not for me. Maybe this is not for me. They try to put doubt in every single one of our brains. And we think, listen, I tried. What can I do already? I tried so hard. Whatever, had you ready. Give it up, right? It's not for me. So I'll end off with this story. This is a mashal. It's a story either way. There's a story of a simple farmer who lived in Poland. Okay? And every single day, for some reason, he was imbued with a certain level of Ruach HaKodesh that he Batkol is a heavenly voice, right? That would come down from Shemayim. And it would tell him every single day, first day it appeared to him, the Batkol itself told him, Mr. Farmer, go out to that huge boulder. There's a huge boulder in your farm. Go out to that boulder and push as hard as you could. So he says, wow, voice from heaven. Push the boulder. The guy's a simple guy. He doesn't know what to do. He goes out, he puts his hands against the big boulder. He starts pushing every single day, right? Big boulder, in a bunch, right? Push. Goes to sleep, does his farm work, whatever. Next day he wakes up, all of a sudden, farmer man, go out and push the rock. Push the rock, right? Goes out, pushing the rock, right? Every single day, day after day, he goes and pushes the rock. Every single day. One day, he's feeling a little bit down. He's like, go out, go to work, push the rock, Batco comes out, the whole story, right? Go push the rock. All of a sudden, the Satan appears to him, right? Satan himself, right? Big red horns, pitchfork, the whole story you've seen before. Call 911. Phones. So what does he do? The Satan says to him, he says, Mr. Farmer man, you're the laughing stock in Shemayim. I was just up there, right? And they're telling, everyone hears you every single day, hears you hear this voice every single day, say push the rock. And there you are, every single day. You go out there. How long has it been going on for? Weeks, months, whatever. You're just pushing the rock, and it's not going anywhere. Right? You're laughing back in Shemayim. Everyone's making fun of you. Right? This is what we turn on at night, the Comedy Central over here. Boom. Hey, look at Mr. Farmick. Push the big rock. It's not going anywhere. So he's like, you know what? All right. Gosh, I'm pushing this rock. Every single night I hear this voice. God's telling me to do it, but like, what, you know? It's not going anywhere. So he says, I'm not pushing the rock anymore. Right? So he made a decision. I'm not being a sucker anymore. I don't want to be, you know, the star in Comedy Central anymore. I'm finished. Right? Next morning, he goes to sleep that night. Next morning, he wakes up. Batko comes out from Shemayim. Mr. Farmer Man, go ahead, go push the rock. He's like, I'm not pushing the rock. Like, what do you mean I'm pushing the rock? I'm not pushing the rock. I told you to push the rock. I'm God. Go push the rock. He says, no, I know. You're not going to trick me. Every single day, I go out and push the rock. Right? And I'm the laughing stock in Shemayim. I pushed the rock for all these days and all these weeks and all these months, and the rock didn't move. I haven't budged that rock one bit. It has not moved one day since I've been pushing it. So the Batsko says back to him, Mr. Farmer Man, I just told you to push the rock. I didn't tell you to move the rock. That's what Hashem tells us every single one.
Wow.
Apprehensive. No one told you to move the rock. I just told you to push the rock. You push the rock. My job is to move the rock, Hashem said. Every single one of us, our job is to show up to the Beit Midrash. We feel good, we don't feel good, it doesn't make a difference. We have to do our part. That is the message of Misha Nichnas Adar Marba Simcha. Because what is Simcha? There is no Simcha ka'atarat hasvekot. There is no, it's a chazal. There's no greater Simcha. There's no greater happiness in a person's life when there's a safek, when there's a doubt that's resolved. So therefore comes the month of Adar, and where we go on a mission to bust up all the Amalek out there, all the safek. We take our Torah and we say, we're taking you on. We're going to push, we're going to push, we're going to push. And even though the rock isn't moving, Hashem, you're going to take care of us. We're going to be zocha to an ace. And Bezrat Hashem, we should be all be zocha to a big nace. And be zocha to the Gula Shlema, b'mihir v'yameinu. Amen.
Beautiful. Wow.
Bravo.